Are you working? What kind of work do you do? Alright, what is it you want to do when you grow up?
Hey yo, I'm gonna be on TikTok. That's all my eyes can see. Victory is mine, yeah, surprisingly. I've been laying, waiting for your next mistake. I put in work and watch my status escalate. Now I'ma start collecting props, connecting plots, networking like a conference. Cause the nonsense is yet to stop. Jake, shake me down, haters wanna take me down, break me down, clap. All they heard was a sound. Yo, I scoped it out. I took your weak dream and choked it out. Your bitch don't really got no ass. She just poked it out on the D-Lo. I'm saying you versus me, yo.
Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special Punchmans report and Tripwire crossover episode. This week we are doing a preview of free agency for REBBL, not for G-Man or Big O, so you guys get out of here. My name is Rusty Seabutter.
Hi, I'm Randomus Namus. I'm calling myself the Tripwire now.
That's right. Yeah, Brando's been doing a bunch of divisions kind of on the back end of the season there in REBBL, and next year I think you're picking up a few divisions full time, right?
That's dope, yeah. I touched on, I think, like 5 divisions or something this season. I think I'm just going to try and find 2 and ride them the whole season next time.
Yeah, and and you were thinking about getting some letter divisions as well?
Oh, yeah, I love letter divs. Little teams develop so much faster. You get so many more like changes, so much more drama.
It really is, and Jimmy and I have enjoyed doing the letter divs our first 2 seasons just because it's fun to kind of get the new coaches in and get them excited about the league and whatnot. And so I think you guys do a great show, so I think you'll be able to do that too.
We'll drag them all into the community, kicking and screaming.
So the plan for today is we're going to first talk about the free agency process, I guess, as it was. Just so everybody kind of understands what general rules are and whatnot, and how it's going to work. And then we will, after that, we'll just start going through each of the free agent markets and talking about the players that are available and what's cool and what's not, and who's junk, who's a trap, who's a reach. And,
22 teams, and 20 of them have players.
Yeah. And then we'll retire and fall back to drinking on our couch and watching bullshit.
Yeah. Sell some players. Take those hundreds of thousands of gold home with us.
So to lead off, let's talk about how to find the player market so you can look at it in the client. There's certainly, now if you go to, and I'll put a link in the YouTube thing here, if you go to nuffletics.com/apps/rebel_market, they have a nice little thing now. Nuffletics sometimes performance-wise can be a little bit slow or not responsive, so you might have mixed results looking at it. But if it does load for you, it has all the players in a really nicely organized fashion, and you can very easily peruse by your race, by whatever you're in the market for. But for those of you who don't have a web browser, I guess, or those of you who just like to do everything in the game client, follow me on a magical journey real quick. So
what's it hidden behind?
I didn't understand the question.
I'm sorry. No, I'm saying what's the player market hidden behind? How do we get there?
Oh yeah, it's hidden behind a whole bunch of layers of garbage UI. But this is a cyanide game, so we're all used to that by now. But there are tricks, and there's only one way to find a league to look at for some reason, and that is to take a team that is not in a league. So as you see here, I have the Moral Authority. They are a Bretonian team that I will never ever play. So I keep them right here on the front, and I can just click Join a League down here. Boop, and then you click multiplayer, and thankfully somehow it saved REBBL as a search, so you're going to want to put REBBL right there in the search. Give it a click, and if you navigate over to the second page here, you got to kind of scoot over one. You'll see with the golden cross, you'll see REBBL Player Market, and you can go in there. And the way they have it organized is each of the races is a separate competition within this league. And all you gotta do is click in there, and you can. You might have to like look at teams directly once you're in, but you really only have one competition to look at, depending on what your race is. So it's pretty straightforward.
Huzzah! So now, how do I get sweet players off of the player market, Rusty?
So I did this last year. I picked up a couple Black Orcs. It's if you're familiar with traditional, I guess American, or I guess it's more of an American sport thing than say it's soccer. I don't know if they have drafts in Euro sports, but this is a proud American sport, Blood Bowl, made by British people.
Exactly.
So the way it's set up is run by Ninja Pirate Assassin, who's a fantastic admin, and if you don't know him, you should give him a pat on the back every time you see him because he does amazing work for the league. He he manages the whole thing, and effectively the way it's done is NFL style draft. Now, the way the NFL does a draft is the teams with the worst records will pick first, and then it will go in descending order down to the teams with the best record. So if you want to know where you're picking, potentially, and you don't know who's putting in bids or not, so you don't know that there's going to be, maybe if you're the 5th worst Orc team or something like that, that doesn't mean that the 4th and the 3rd and the 2nd are all going to have picks or claims that they want to make. So I would recommend looking at those teams and seeing if they may or may not be in the market for certain players. But that will give you an idea of kind of where you're picking. Potentially, if always assume everybody's going to try to grab agents, and then you kind of have an idea of where, in priority order, what you might get. He will go through, and everybody will submit. You will send him a PM via Discord, or maybe via Reddit. I can't remember which. Check the thread for the way he prefers that. But you'll send in a PM, and that PM will have basically your order of players. So you say, when I pick, this is my first choice, this is my second choice, this is my third choice. And if there's any special instructions like your 1, 2, 3, like in my case, 1, 2, 3 were all Black Orcs. And then there was a Blitzer that I was interested in, but I only needed 1 Black Orc. So I said, if I get one of these 3 Black Orcs, skip any remaining Black Orcs, and then go get this Blitzer. If the picks come all the way back around again and I get a second pick, I would rather have a Blitzer with the second pick.
Now, let me interrupt you and make sure I'm understanding here for a second. What you're submitting with your waiver is basically instructions for how you would draft, right? Like what is effectively happening is you go in reverse order by records, and each person gets to pick a player effectively. Yes. But you submit your intent beforehand for all of your picks so that it can just be processed, right?
Right, because it's not like a live draft where each team has like a commission or like a representative who sends in a card the way the NFL does. Right. Instead, NPA has all of that information available, so he just begins to process what's what.
Yeah, he just goes down the list and looks at who has the first pick and gives them their first pick, and then they look at the second pick's pick order and they give them the first one off of that list, right?
Exactly. And then if it goes all the way through the order, so let's say there are only 5 teams that have submitted waivers, but there's 6 players and all 6 have bids put in, it will go all the way back around to the worst team again, and then back down through the order in the event that there's claims for that player.
Same order again instead of snaking.
Exactly. Not like a fan that, for those of you who play fantasy football, typically the draft there is done in a snake where it kind of goes from worst to best, but then from best to worst, and then kind of inverse back and forth. It doesn't do that. It just jumps right back to the same order and repeats through in a cycle.
So worst record actually gets more live picks.
Yeah, and that's actually, I think, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but I think that's one of the best things about the way REBBL and MPA approaches this is this really is a boon for the teams that have struggled and need a little bit of help. They're going to get the first chance at some of these, as we go through the teams, you'll see there's some amazing players in here. Oh
yes, if a team retires, a lot of times all the stars end up on the player market. There are some incredible pieces available.
Yeah, so I mean, in many cases, it can be team defining or jump you into almost a different tier of performance. Now, obviously, you're only as good as you play, or as good as you roll dice. But a huge, a level 6 werewolf with a bunch of stat ups can completely transform the way your team plays. So for teams who have struggled or have had trouble keeping players healthy, this can be a huge benefit to you, where you might get 2, maybe even 3 players, depending on what claims are in there.
Exactly. This is also a fantastic way to replace a player that's died if you're in a higher division, right? Because once you're up past maybe Div 5, it starts getting hard to train that new guy, especially if it's just some Strength 4 no block idiot that's never going to get profitable blocks.
Yeah, and you see that a lot, where developing him means you need to do actions with him, but at that level, he's too risky to do any actions with, so he just winds up being a pillar for the rest of the time, and it can be a real drag unless he starts pulling MVPs.
What if I could buy 40 SPP on that guy?
Yeah, and just plug it right in, and then start punching people with it, immediately, and that's kind of what this process offers up to you.
Some of these are huge upgrades. Like, if anybody paid attention to Moniker's team last season, that's basically where his team came from, the free agent market.
Well, and Thessa as well, right? Like, Thessa pulled in, like, 2 stat freak Wood Elf. Or was he Wood Elves? No, he was High Elves.
He's Wood Elves, yeah.
Yeah, he was Wood Elves. Yeah, he pulled in 2 stat freak, I think, like a catcher and something else, like a lino.
I assume he, like, picked up a guard elf or something, too. He picked up a bunch of pieces off of the free market last season.
Yeah.
And it put him in the playoffs.
It really did, and it put Moniker in the playoffs, for that matter. And I picked up 2, and I was right on the precipice. So it really can, and I had only 1 win in the previous season. So it can really be like season transforming for you.
We'll see what you traded in for your Black Orcs a little later.
Yes, we will. Now, last note to touch on is, and of course this is all going to take place, we're guessing sometime around July 4th, so you have a little bit of time to figure out what you want to do, but it will happen basically when the Invitational and the Greenhorn wrap up. That's when MPA will start processing all of this. And that's when he'll send up, keep an eye on the announcements and whatnot. He'll put up postings to everybody saying, like, hey, here's the last call to get your pick submissions in. So definitely pay attention to that. And around the end of the month, if you're not a regular Discord person, start checking periodically.
Yeah, you should pay attention to this because NPA will be making lots of announcements about this in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
The actual draft and exchange of players occurs in the week between Greenhorn and Devastational and the next season.
Yeah.
So, like, all of the swaps happen after you get the opportunity to get your last gold in with Devastational if you want.
And I think, if I remember, it happens right before they announce the divisions. So I think these new players will be factored into the way that they balance divisions. I don't know if that matters.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
Another thing, you can sell players to the free market. If you don't want to just buy anybody, like if you have a player you want to get rid of and it's got 2 or 3 levels and a doubles or something, MPA will buy that thing from you. He'll pay you cash money.
Yeah, and that's really the big, like, in terms of the process and the way it goes, it's a strategic thing to do now. It's the season's over, so you can't really, I mean, you could try to earn some cash up right now over the Invitational if you're still in it or whatnot.
I mean, there's some thin ways, but it's hard now.
Yeah, it's tricky now, but it is a viable strategy. If you know you're out or you're having a horrible season, you'll see a lot of teams will just start saving cash, and what they're doing is they're getting ready for free agency, so they can afford, really like 270 team value pieces and whatnot.
Yeah, once your season's already blown, it's not a huge detriment to float 100k gold or something for the last few games, so that you just go into the free market with 400k or something. And
well, yeah, and if you're gonna lose anyway, who gives a shit, right?
You buy everything you want, suffer some inducements for a couple of games, and buy real players.
So yeah, so the draft day will come up. MPA will begin kind of trickling out, like, here's the results for this race, here's the results for this race, and then he'll start asking, like, when are you available to do trades, unless there's any last minute adjustments, like, oh, I don't want that guy after all. Like, you win a guy that you put in for, but then for whatever reason you soured on him. There's still kind of a little opportunity to not take people and make them available to other teams that might have had bids for them. But really what's going to happen is he's going to get in touch with you, and then you guys are going to have to be online at the same time. Jump into like a little hold league. I think it's this one right here where it says Rebel Teams join here.
Market,
yeah, like if you're in the player market, you'll see Rebel Teams join here, this little guy. You'll go in, and then he will begin a trade transaction process and kind of like walk you through it. It's a weird interface. You'll have probably never seen it before.
Yeah, but all you have to do is push a couple of buttons. When you're looking at your team on a specific player, once you're in a league where the free agency is available, there's an extra button over beside where their like player model is on the left of their screen. And you just click that and you sell them for whatever their minimum value is, and NPA will do the same. And there's another screen where you just buy it.
And depending on the piece, now, there's limits on positionals and whatnot, and you're probably going after positionals primarily, though there are some great linemen in here. You're gonna basically see if he may take the replacement, like whatever your existing, say, Black Orc is, right? Like, I'm gonna get a level 4 Black Orc, and I got a level 2 one with block. Since it's a Black Orc and block is super valuable and hard to get, he may take that piece. He may not as well.
The short version is, how hard is it to make this piece?
Yeah.
That's the question he asked.
Does it have kind of substantial value, and someone might want to draft it next year? Because it won't be available now, but it will be available in the next free agency period.
Yeah, I guess that's something we should talk about when these players are available. All of the players that are available now either were on the free market or came from teams that dropped out last season. Not any players that are leaving this season.
Yep. So they got to cook for a year before they're going to be available to you. Which brings about some interesting strategy things, but maybe we'll talk about like JJ and what he's doing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, maybe when we get to humans, we can touch on that.
Such a spicy idea.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, there's really a lot of great meta strategy that comes out of this. So that's kind of why I think you and I were both excited to do this episode and actually put it out there for everybody. Ruin JJ's secrets.
Yeah, looking at some of the players on here that I just from going through and looking at, there are some monsters. There are some free agent teams that are literally entire teams that are like well developed.
Oh yeah, when we get to Skaven, that's another. Like, there's some amazing pieces in there.
Or SARS, you can buy a whole lizard team.
It's true. So yeah, you'll do the trades that day. You will get some value back on the things that you trade in if he'll accept the trade-ins. If you're not sure if he's going to accept the trade-in because you're not sure if it's valuable enough, you can always hit him up. Understand he might. Yeah, hit him late at night. Do understand that it might take him a few days to get back to you. MPA's managing a lot of different things, so he gets hit with a lot of different PMs.
He does the player market entirely by himself. It is incredible.
Yeah, it's a mountain of work. So, you know, again, give him a back rub when you see him one of these days. Was there anything else we needed to touch on process-wise?
I think that's it. You want to jump into some Amazons?
Let's jump into some Amazons.
That sounds kind of wrong.
So yeah, you'll see, you go into the Amazons here, and then there's a team that says REBBL Amazon free agents, and I think, and then if there's if there's more players than there are that can fit on one team, or like the positionals fill up, they'll make additional little things that we'll click through. Nuffalitics will have it all in one read though. So as you can see, we got 4 lovely ladies here, and what jumps out at you here?
You're going to see a lot of these plus stats, like this plus agi blitzer is incredible. I love this thing. And
yeah,
like,
I mean,
buy a killer. You need a 30 SPP killer. That one's great. Like none of these are like super duper standouts, but they're all really solid. This is obviously the leftovers from a team, right? Because they're all the same naming gimmick.
It's a fantastic gimmick, by the way.
It is.
I don't know if these just happen to be the 4 best names, but they're all good. Ophelia
They
Balls is a personal favorite.
So good.
But yeah, of these, you know, there's nothing.
It's like a standard ball carrier and
yeah,
a lino with plus move and block. Like you never want to put another level on that guy. Maybe tackle or whatever. But
they're all a little bit
solid.
far from level. And now it's always worth looking at the SPP on the pieces that are available. That might affect the value to you. So like
exactly, like Ivana Humpelot's almost level 4.
Yeah, and she's built in a way that she could kind of go in a couple different directions. So this is like a really kind of blue sky piece where she's got the Mighty Blow, she's got the Blodge, she's got Guard, which is incredible on Amazon Blitzers, and she's a Vanity Pass away, and then you just get to pick a skill.
You get to take a scratch off ticket at a double there, or at a stat up or something too. I love the idea of buying these guys that are about to level. It's like buying young blood in another sport and training them.
You know what's neat here too is with Amazons, they're really pretty cheap for what they've got. Like
they are.
Free to breast is only 100K, which most people carry, you know, just as like emergency funds.
Right.
And she's a full blodger with move. This is like potentially a team enhancing piece, and pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I would say this would, if I was looking over, Ivana Humpelot or Free to Breast would be the 2 that would be the most interesting to me. The Agi piece is fantastic, but
I mean, I like Ophelia Balls here a lot. If you don't already have a ball carrier, like
yeah,
it's a well-developed ball carrier. A lot of these look to me like replacement pieces rather than something you would like aspire to buy to make your team better. But you do make a good point that they're so cheap that you could easily end a season with 300K and buy 2 of them, buy both the blitzers and just cackle all the way to the bank.
Yeah, No, these are definitely. I mean, I think all of them are decent pieces. There's not a piece in here that I'm like, that's weird. I don't want it.
Yeah, the MPA's threshold to get into these lists is pretty high unless your team's actively retiring.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Should we jump
anything
on
else
to...
about these?
Nah, I think they're all pretty straightforward. Who should we look at next?
Let's go look at some Brets.
Bretonians.
And these guys are out of place because... Oh, no, they're not that far.
Yeah, they're not that far.
I'm forcing the alphabet on us. Ooh, look at this Agi 5 blocker. Ooh.
Man, I know some Brett teams that we've even covered this season that I think would benefit greatly from some of these pieces. Man, 5 Agi. Is that a blitz? Oh, that's a blocker?
It's a blocker. Look at this 45 SPP blitzer with plus move, too. That guy's great.
Yeah, the move guy really jumps out at me. With the sidestep. Well, he's a blodger with sidestep.
And, like, how can you argue with this plus Agi blitzer with blodge? Like, that guy's awesome, too.
Well, and look at him, he's only 4 points away. So
exactly.
you might even luck into another, either a stat up or a double or something. I mean, this is a team. You could build a team around a guy like this.
Yeah, both of these blitzers are incredible.
Yeah, I would say both of these are great, and they're not bad value at 170 and 180 money.
Yeah, and you're like basically buying an extra level for free on Arthur Pendragon. That's awesome.
Yeah, a touchdown and a vanity pass, and you're there. And he's an Agi guy, so that's not tough to do.
Exactly. It's super easy to get it on him.
But
for Agi Blodger, it's hard to score on this guy, right?
I don't really know what to make of Dante the Daring. He's a lot of value.
He's got 5 agility.
Yeah, he's 210 money. He's only going to get 1 more level, so he is kind of what he is until he legends, if he legends.
You obviously just put strip ball on him, right?
Right. Strip ball and just let him dive into cages all day.
Roll doubles, put leap on him.
Though it is, you got about 80 SPP. You almost got to double his SPP to get him to whatever that next skill is.
He's a long way away from a level, so you really have to evaluate him as just being Agi 5, wrestle guard, mighty blow tackle. You know, he's not actually very fast, so it's a little harder to use 5 Agi, but it's hard to argue with 5 Agi, right?
It sure is. Neither of the linemen really jump out at me, or I would be that interested in. I
don't want either of these linemen. Like, I would be kind of interested in this dirty player Lino if he only had like 6 SPP, but he's about to get block, and then he's worth 2 linemen, and it's rough. And like this 100K for Brett Lino just hurts me.
But this is one of those situations where, like, if you're just down a lino and you don't want to get a guy, and you don't have any dirty players, and that's something you rely on, and you just want to kind of skip the process of getting another lino up to getting dirty player, like, it might be worth picking this guy up, and then he's a quick level.
Exactly.
You put sneaky good on him.
Yeah, exactly. Roll doubles, put sneaky good on him, and have a 90K fouling piece with 40K linemen.
That's right. I actually kind of like Regulus the Regal a little bit as a piece. He's pretty cheap.
He's a replacement man. He's like the man that comes in if you lost a blocker in the last 4 games of the season.
Yeah, and you don't want to have to like work him back up to getting guard on a non-block piece.
It's 34 nice. SPP for the price of like 60K gold is really good.
Yep. No, he's nice. All right, should we move on to the next?
Yeah, next up, Chaos.
Ugh.
Look at all these stat freaks.
Oh my goodness. You know, I don't think I've ever looked at the Chaos free agents.
Do you need a 5 or a 4 Agi, very long legs, blodge leap Chaos Warrior? Because you can have one.
These are Iron Masters old.
They are.
These have to be Iron Masters old guys.
I believe that's the case.
Because the leap very long legs guy.
This
that
is
has
his
to be
leap
him.
Man, yeah.
Oh my goodness. So he rolled doubles and took the very long legs. I mean, that's a fun gimmicky piece. This is the problem with Chaos is they're so capable of these builds.
$240K.
Yeah, he's 240K, and he really is mostly a chaos. I mean, to use the term, a chaos element on the field. Like you don't know where he's going to go or what he's going to do.
I mean, he's kind of awesome. He's the cage breaker, right?
He is a cage breaker.
Everywhere.
He's everywhere. I think he's a scorer. He's a 5 movement scorer, which is the problem.
That's the right, exactly. Like he's hard. It's hard to make him the ball carrier with 5 move.
But you could throw to him, especially if you pick up Snowball, this 4 strength 4 agi goat man.
Yeah, this double plus stat goat man that's only 4 points away. Just buy a vampire for your team.
I think that's this guy Snowball 4 is the prize here.
Yeah, I think so too.
If I was going to put a #1 overall pick, as fun as Clawachor is, or even the 5 strength Chaos Warrior with block. Oh no, he doesn't have block. He just has dodge.
No, he doesn't have. He does not have block yet. You have to put block on him in 6 points or whatever, 7.
7 points, which I guess is doable.
I mean, once you get there, once you get there though, he's great.
Oh yeah, he's a cornerstone piece from that point.
He's just kind of out of order, in my opinion. It's hard to take dodge on Chaos Warriors because it slows them down so much. Shenanigans going on here. And then, like, if you need a replacement killer, Kuro's great.
Yeah, he's right there. He's, he's piling on and tackle away from, and then claw. I mean, he's just a quick development. You can skip those first 2 levels and get right to building a killer.
Exactly, that's the slow part. It's again paying 40k for 18 SPP.
Yeah. I think what the league should do is just delete this team and all of these players. I don't think
you just don't want to play against any of this.
No, I don't.
Just like have NPA remake this team, but make all the stat ups plus armor instead of what they are now.
Yeah. Or just turn all the stat ups into injuries.
Okay, well, if this makes you upset, let's go look at Chaos Dwarves.
Oh boy.
This one won't take long. I know the entire contents of this one.
There we go. Chaos Dwarf Free Agency. Look!
There is exactly one.
There's exactly one.
Morka, the 29 SPP Break Tackle Block Bull Centaur. Which is a great piece, man. It's 2 SPP away from getting some other Bull Centaur shit. Take your pick.
I think that's what I like about this guy is he's a pretty clean slate. And these are very non-controversial Bull Centaur skills. Yeah,
this is like the blodge of Bull Centaurs. It just goes on all of them if you can afford it.
Yeah, I mean, you're never upset to have break tackle. It really makes them scary, and getting block on them means you can start hitting right away. You don't gotta think twice before you punch that black orc in the face.
Exactly, and being a Kaz away from a level is incredible here because once you've gotten those 3 on a bull, you've gotten most of your bull. So lose 1 replacement man. If I didn't have better bulls, I would buy this thing.
Yeah, no, I think this is I mean, they're not cheap. 170 for basically a level 3 guy.
Shorts never die. Like the pieces that you care about never die. So you always have infinite gold.
unless you take 4 rerolls and no apo.
That's a true story.
Womp womp. Womp womp. He is damaged. He's missing a horn.
Yeah, that's just. I blame Cyanide for that.
All right. Yeah, but that's a good piece. I think there might be some competition for Morka here. I
think so. Anybody that doesn't have a bull with at least 31 SPP wants that thing.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's go look at some Dark Elves, huh? Let's go look at something that you might be happy to look at.
I don't know. Dark Elves make me all that happy, but
they want your ball.
Now, there were a lot last year. This year, it's a pretty sparse market.
I think some of them got bought up. And I think these might actually be the trade-ins from the buying up before. Is this a Nurgle on this runner?
Yeah, I'm taking a look.
Yeah.
That is a Nurgle. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, AV7 Nurgle is a scary boy. It's like almost a stunty.
With guard and pass.
He does have guard and pass, so like it's hard to say no to guard elf, but again, AV7 Niggled guard elf.
Is that so you can clear him more easily when he gets marked?
I mean, that does help, but I think mostly it's just you roll doubles on him and get a chance to take guard, so you take guard.
Or maybe he took the Niggle and then he's just like, fuck it, I'm going to put guard on him until he dies, and he never died.
Yeah, I suspect that, I mean, I don't know, I'm talking out of my ass, but I suspect that this Niggle predates the guard.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. Lime Crush is a bit more viable, definitely good value at 130.
Sure. I mean, it's just
Mighty Blow, right?
Just Mighty Blow. Pay 20k for 11 SPP. You can't get a much better deal than that if you happen to have 130k laying around.
Yeah, and it's all. I mean, if you just lost a Blitzer or you got a baby Blitzer that you want to get rid of and just get 11 SPP is nothing to sneeze at.
Exactly. That's the hard part.
Yeah, it's not a bad
beginning.
Not a bad piece. I don't know about this runner, but maybe that fits what someone's looking for out there. Who knows?
Yeah.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
If you are Dark Elves, you know your team, and if you want these guys, you want these guys. If you don't, oh well, not this season. Okay, I got good news about our next team.
What's that?
We don't have to look at Dwarfs because there's no Dwarfs.
Yay!
So
how miserable would that have been?
Pretty miserable. That means we get to look at Halflings next, though.
So are there much in terms of the Halflings?
Yes.
Oh my goodness,
yes. Yes, there are. There are some good pieces for flings.
Man.
Need an agi halfling? Because we got an agi halfling or a move halfling. That one's pretty good too. How about a
70k for a 4
tree?
agi piece? Oh, he's
look at this
jump up.
doubles tree.
That is a fantastic tree. I guess jump up's the thing. Not.
Yeah.
Is it because it gets rid of the roll?
Yeah, standing up doesn't take a movement anymore.
Oh.
So he just gets to stand up and move twice.
So he doesn't have to roll a 4 to stand up?
Correct.
Oh, that's huge.
I believe that's correct anyway. Jump up means you don't have to spend movement to stand up, and what's making you roll is that you don't have enough movement to stand up.
He's got a nice name, too. Tree Course Meal.
Yeah. Just roll doubles on him again, and he will be a true tree course meal.
Yeah, I'd say this is your number 1 overall out of this group.
Yep. And if you want one of these halflings, you know which one you want.
I guess.
I think.
Well, the 4 agi that's a bonus to land.
Yeah, the 4 agi is actually pretty good because it helps him both dodge through things if he has to.
Like a maniac.
Because now he's like agi 4 stunty, and like the agi helps him land and stuff. So he's now the ammunition for your tree.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's kind of your do-it-all scorer. He should, and he's only leveled once. He's only got the agi right off the jump, so you have a lot of blue sky if he survives.
That. 2 touchdowns, and he probably gets sprint.
Yeah. The move guy is not so bad either, though.
Yeah, halflings are notoriously slow, so it is not bad to have a move halfling. It makes the 1-turns a lot better. You don't have to rely on the scatter so much.
Yeah, it's true. The others, I mean, some of these just look like base halflings. Am I missing something? What's this guy?
No,
he's a diving tackle.
These are all off the same team. This was a retired team.
Okay.
So
and there's 2 trees. Yeah, so salad bark.
NPA would never buy Tommy Tomato or Barney Bacon. These just came from a team that was going into the incinerator anyway.
Right. And it looks like Barney Bacon is built to be a 1-turner. So you can hand off to him, and then he gets a little extra move on the land.
That's about all you can do with these guys. It's like that, or you put sidestep and diving tackle on them and make them annoying.
Or plus armor.
No way. No way. I'd rather just have another halfling.
I just like to pretend that team value doesn't exist.
On this team that relies on its inducements.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well.
All right. Who we got next?
There's no high elves, so we can get straight to humans.
Oh, and this is a big one. Find humans. There they are. So, an interesting strategy came to light, which is what we think JJ Cash is doing.
Yeah.
So he's a human coach. Had a fantastic Cash Crew Part 2 is a fantastic team, probably the best human team of the bunch. And he and amazingly or inexplicably he retired him. But the general idea is he's going to come back around. Oh, you know what? This isn't just for REBBL. This is all a REBBL is in this free agency.
Yeah. I thought you were making a joke before. Yeah, it's shared free agency.
No, I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, no. But the G-Men can buy our pieces too. I thought you were just telling them to not look because we wanted to keep them all for ourselves.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't. They should not look so we can strengthen the REL and make it even stronger. But where was I? I'm sorry. So yeah, JJ is retiring his incredible human team, but re-rolling his humans, which you might go, well, why would you do that? You got such a great human team. And it's because
going all in on 17 games of saving to buy his team back.
Yep. So he's gonna go back through, see what he can develop over the course of the season, and then basically plug holes with his old players once again, and build a super team, but not have to rebuild his humans in the upper divisions, where it's extremely hard.
It's like either insane or genius, and I think it's genius.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out, but you know, for this season we don't have Tommy's previous, but we do have both some old moniker players that he turned in and a few retired players as well. I think maybe there's some did Rich's T retire his guys? Are some of these them?
I don't actually know. These are all coming off of Season 7, which is sort of before my time.
Yeah, I just thought he might have gotten killed at the end of last playoffs, because I know it was a pretty brutal match, but maybe he stuck it out.
Certainly possible. This does look like a team, right?
Yeah. So we were talking about this team before, because we were hanging out with Moniker and talking about him, but there's a lot of pieces here that are worth consideration. They're
all good. So the one that's the obvious freak here is Hummersap, right? Like this strong arms forward band.
I mean, this is now I like turning teams that shouldn't throw that much into teams that throw too much. So this is extremely attractive.
You can do it.
Yeah. This guy is so really one of the knocks on the human thrower, right, is that he needs doubles to get the strong arm. He's Agi 3, so he's not that great, but he's gotten one of the biggest things out of the way here. In getting the strong arm up front, and he's only 6 points away from level, which is an MVP and a pass, which he'd get easily the second he gets an MVP, or, you know, even over 6 games, he'll surely, you know, get that many in vanity passes.
Then he's gonna get accurate, and then he's an elf.
Yeah, then he's a real passer, and you're still pretty young in his development cycle. You're still gonna get to add more skills in there. If you put safe throw on him, all of a sudden he's like an incredible passer. Not incredible at Agi 3, but you could also roll an Agi. Who fucking knows?
Sure. And that's only 26 SPP away. It's not very far for a guy that handles the ball.
Yeah. And so I think I don't know that this is the clear-cut best piece here, but this is the one that I would lock in on, because most human teams don't actually have a decent thrower.
So which one do you call best piece? This plus move catcher, then?
I think LD John is the biggest team transformer. If
one-turn man.
Yeah, or just, you know, a good deep threat, a one-turn man, someone that an opposing defense is going to have to commit pieces to hold, like screening against or holding down, because he can just run around guys.
Exactly. If you put the ball on him, he can get to the end zone pretty easily.
Yeah, and the catchers are, you know, kind of, people almost overlook how fast they are.
So they're like one move off of being gutter runners. This thing is a 3-agi gutter runner now.
Yeah, with block.
Yeah.
With blodge, actually, even better. So now you have this other move piece. I think is pretty intriguing, but the sure hands really takes a lot of luster off it for me on this.
That's it. That's my opinion on him too. Is why does this thing have sure hands? It could be tackle or guard or.
So many things. They have such good access, those human blitzers.
Could be mighty blow.
So, I mean, it's not... I don't think this is a disqualifier. There certainly could be human teams out there that have said we're not going to have a thrower, and so I need a guy to handle the ball, and I don't mind not having 4 blitzers running around. I'll just have one of my blitzers handling the ball. And if that's the case, this is a really good piece. But I think you have to have decided your team is going to go that direction.
Exactly. You have to not have another carrier. Like this guy isn't a blitzer; he's a ball carrier.
Yeah. He's that's pretty much what he is. He's 8 movement, so he's a pretty good scoring threat. He's not much of a catcher, so he's a carrier. He's
basically competing with LD John for a spot in my book.
Right. They both have the same bunch of teams taking him in for workouts before the draft. You also have these 2 blitzers here, the guard dodge guys, which are fantastic. And that's doubles for a dodge on a human blitzer, right?
I believe that's correct.
Yeah, so these are both actually pretty nice pieces. One is Bill Jr. is 3 points further down the road towards his next level, but I'd say either of these are great plugins if you have a weak blitzer on your team and your humans.
Yeah. These
We're
are like...
We're
These
literally
are
probably talking to
right?
like Monica right now. Like, there's not very many human coaches, but there are a lot of options.
Oh no, there are quite a few. From looking at both Div 5 and Div 7, there are some human coaches that are eyeing players on this market right now.
Well, and the human market is really, last year and even the year before, is one of the most robust and frequently used free agent markets.
Like, all of the human coaches know it's there, and they're always saving money at the end of the season to use it. Like, and they're always, all the human teams tend to have lots of levels spread out all over the place, so they're trading players in too.
Now, Hans whatever. Hans.
Sure, yeah.
Is kind of a situational piece. He is 1 point away from level. He's accurate, so he's a real thrower, but he doesn't have any defensive skills or anything that's a double.
Right, like what you're doing is you're buying a lottery ticket at getting a double on this level up instead of block, right?
Right, and then so maybe if everybody else is gone and this guy's kind of sitting around on the board, maybe you pick him up just to take the shot. Throw one vanity pass with him with accurate, which should be pretty easy. And then you see if you get agi on him, or you see if you get strong arm or something.
You're not like saving money to plug this guy into your team thinking that it's going to make it incredible or anything. But yeah, if you have 90k and you have a spot to put this guy, put him on your team.
Yeah. And then Rolf is like, hey, you just lost your dirty player kick, Lino? Here's another one.
My opinions on extra skills on dirty player Linos.
I think, humans do use kick.
Yeah, I mean,
And
this is probably one of the best ones, but that guy costs 90k now. You're fouling with a 90k piece.
That's true.
And if you get him ejected with your fouling, now you don't have your kick guy.
That's true, too. But he is 16 to 31, so he ain't getting that next level and truly bloating anytime soon.
No, he's got to catch 3 MVPs.
Yeah, pretty much. 3 MVPs, or somehow... I don't even know how he would score points. He's just fouling all day long and taking hits.
Magical casualty dice or something.
Yeah, because people keep rolling skulls against him and he keeps fucking putting them in the ground. All right.
Oh, yeah, let's move on. How about Khemri next?
Oh, boy. Now we're having fun.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
I think I got to go around the back way. Yeah, there they are. No agility thrower? Oh. Why even bother?
Only 2. No stat ups. Look at this dirty player sneaky git.
Sneaky git. This is a Gengar piece right here.
Take that piece out back and fire it.
Yeah, this is a fun haver piece. What's his name? It's loading slow. Rupee Kaur. Yeah, Rupee Kaur with an upside down skull head. I don't know. If you really wanted to try out a dirty player sneaky git so you could fire him later and you want to spend 90k cash to do it, here's your man.
Yeah, man, this Blitzraw is great. There's nothing I would change about him.
No, he's your perfect I never rolled doubles Blitzraw, right?
I mean, he's obviously going to roll plus agi next level, right?
Right, or plus strength and then breaking tackle or something. He's only 2 points away. So you're going to get to choose what's next, or maybe you get lucky and get one of those stat ups on him. This is actually I think one of the best pieces in free agency. If you have the vacancy.
The issue is, what do you take on him if he doesn't roll doubles?
If he doesn't take levels, I think you could do Juggernaut. I think you could, yeah. Like there are strength skills that still benefit what the role he's suiting, and then if he rolls doubles, you have a ton of choices. You got jump up.
Like you're really banking on doubles.
Yeah, dodge or jump up are the obvious doubles.
I think I just take jump up and move in.
Yeah. This is a killer, so you just want to give him every opportunity to kill. But yeah, he's not hurt. He's a Blitzraw.
He's a killer. He already has a kill.
He's gonna level fast. Yeah, he's a nice piece. And he's got a weird name that I don't know what to make of. It's probably some reference. I want you
to realize this guy only has 2 MVPs. He's gotten a lot of murder SPP.
Yeah. He's a practice killer. He's got that taste for blood.
Yes, he does.
All right.
But that's obvious what you want on the Khemris. So let's go talk about something where there's a lot to talk about.
Oh
some
boy.
lizards.
Yeah, there were a ton of lizards, right?
There are still a ton of lizards. I know that there were probably a half a dozen Saurus bought off of the free market last season, and there's still more than a team of lizards.
This is an incredible lizard team right here, on its own.
Yeah, just this team here that's in the free agency. Look at this team.
Did you want a Tacklesaurus? You got 2.
How about a Mighty Blowsaurus? Because there's 2 of those.
Oh, there are 2
How about
of those.
one that's got plus strength?
Well, and even look at the block. The level 2 guy is only 2 points from level with block, so he's going to be hitting, and he's going to be getting opportunities to get that level real fast.
And like none of the 2 level ones are super close. Like look at all these 22s and 23s and stuff. They're well on their way to yet another skill.
Now let's look at these 2 hurt guys, because they're faded, so you might not notice them, but you should.
They are both very good. Now, there is a note about Gargantua here. This Miss Next game is from a Nurgle.
It is. Oh no, he has 2. He had the Niggle, and then he got the Miss Next game. He's currently sitting there with he's sitting there with a broken jaw.
Yep, you're right.
Now, I guess there could be a lot of debate about the value of this piece with a Niggle, because Crocs is a piece that gets, at least is in the line of fire a lot. The thing to me is
that break, tackle, and guard.
Yeah.
And 5 strength and 6 movement.
It's everything you want, really, other than the Niggle. Now, I do think Croxes don't actually get punched that much.
No, it's not a bunch of Crocs because they're surrounded with Sauruses.
And they're 5 strength. And he's got guard, so you got to really commit pieces in there if he's got any help whatsoever.
And then you have to commit pieces onto this 5 strength guard motherfucker with a tail. Like, this guy's great. He baits people into touching him, and that's what you want.
Yeah, I would almost say the Niggle might help draw pieces for him to hurt.
Exactly. Like, you don't want it because the punches that come at him are riskier. But, like, it's hard to punch a Croxagore.
Well, it's like there's a silver lining to the cloud on this guy. And he's a break tackle piece, so if he is in trouble, you can get him away.
He can leave.
I think this is a fantastic piece. I think this is one of the best in free agency. A Bloxagore, I think, is debatably the best overall big man in the game.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
It's like that or the block beast of Nurgle, one or the other.
Right, right. Or the 6 strength block. Break tackle, stand firm, beast of Nurgle, Lazarus, you fucker.
I love that you have to like click some ellipses to see just how filthy that thing is.
Yeah. Well, they do come with a lot of garbage on them as well.
I think it's like the most skills you can have on a piece, right? The beast of Nurgle.
Now, I would say let's look at yellow here real quick. This is also a niggled piece, but a more interesting one. He must have just taken the niggle in his last game, because he's not carrying an extra MNG.
Yeah, because he's missed next game. That's it. That's sad. I didn't realize that guy was niggled. That takes a lot off of him.
Yeah.
As a Saurus, he gets hit a lot more. But, I mean, you just sort of treat him like a Crocs now, right? Just keep him in the middle.
Yeah, he's like a Crocs who got his tail ripped off.
I mean, I think he's still good. I mean, if you have... I don't know that I would buy him over these other Sauruses personally, but he's still great.
He's not a terrible value at 170.
Here.
Yeah, the strength in the block is... I mean, what a fortunate start for this piece. The break tackle lets him make one dodge.
The hard work.
He'll never make a second dodge. He's only making one dodge, ever.
He only ever has to make one. Yeah. Right into the cage to punch the guy with the ball.
It's true. I think this is an okay value piece. I think this is a good guy for maybe the middle of your draft card. But I don't think he's as clear-cut a great pick as Gargantua. Or potentially even these other Sauruses who are just minorly developed but kind of space fillers. They're a little more of a given. Sauruses get hurt a lot. I don't know why.
And it is so hard to get block on a Saurus. The first 6 SPP on a Saurus is so hard.
It really, because you can't give them the ball. So there's no way to force, even with Franks or Black Orcs or Nurgle Warriors even.
Yeah.
Not Sauruses.
It's so hard to get a Saurus touchdown. You have to be so far ahead.
So it's, you know, I don't think it's a bad pick late in the thing, but I would probably, in many cases, depending on what your team makeup is and what holes you need to fill, I might look at these other sources first.
I totally agree. I'm looking at like Tacklesaurus and Mighty Blowsaurus as my first picks out of the Sauruses.
Yeah, well, and Tacklesaurus is one of those things that people tend to prioritize later in their as they kind of build out their sixth Saurus. Tackle,
yeah, he's a great fifth or sixth Saurus, right?
Oh, it's fantastic because then you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that 21-point grind or 16-point grind or whatever to get tackle on him. Where now you can deal with the other like the dodgy pieces on other teams. Now you can just get one of these guys at 120k. Not that pricey.
Yeah,
totally worth it.
This guy without skills costs 80k. It's so cheap.
It's true.
2 normals is like basically free. Or you want to talk about these filthy skinks that have been taking up the bottom half of the screen?
I was gonna say it's so much fun to talk about the Croxes and Sauruses, but we really need to talk about these skinks.
They are all filthy, each one in its own way.
Well, so you got a natural one-turner here. You got 2. I'm sorry. You got.
Yes, we do.
Or do they need 1 push? They need 1 push, right?
Yeah, it's 12 move, so he needs 1 push.
One has block,
so easy.
1 has catch. It really depends on how you want it. Do you want the guy that you can hand the ball off to the easiest? Or do you want the guy who's more all-purpose blocks?
I find it kind of weird that sidestep happened on both of them after plus move. That's weird to me.
Oh yeah, huh? That is weird.
I mean, they both grew up into beautiful skink boys, but I don't know. Plus, strength skink is so good. How about 5 agi skink?
Well, 5 agi skink is filthy.
It's also 3 SPP from a level.
Oh, it is. Well, yeah, and he's going to keep getting levels. He's only level 4, so he's going to get 1 level almost instantly. Really, in 1 game, he's going to get a level, unless you.
And then he's only 20 SPP from another one.
Which he's going to get real fast, because this is your score. You're picking this guy up to be the guy that carries the ball in the backfield, and you keep him safe. And then the moment you're within range, or you're on turn 8, you just run him right into the end zone, and he will never ever get hit.
Yeah. 8 touchdowns, and this guy's level 6. As you can see from the bottom of this screen here.
And that could be like 4 games. It could take like 4 games for him to get 8 touchdowns.
Exactly.
Now he's
so fast.
This is probably the #1 overall pick in the. I just think this is what people are going to home. You can never have too many good skinks. He's not that bloaty.
We're just not even going to talk about my 6 SPP block skink, right? Like, he's just not even good enough with the company he's in.
Oh, the 6 SPP guy. I mean, I think that's a fantastic value piece, but
he only costs when 90K.
You look at only 90K. It's real hard to get a block skink, but you got one here. It's just like there's so much red down here that you don't even notice this guy.
Exactly, and you can get red with your block, or you can get other skills with your block, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you lack a natural one-turner or close to natural one-turner, you got 2 great options. If you want an all everything fucking scoring skink, you got LB ME3. I don't even know. We didn't even talk about his Latin, but I guess there's not much. He's another blodger with sprint. Is that sprint? I can never tell sprint or sure feet apart.
I think that's sprint. No, that's sure feet.
That's sure feet. You always see them together, so I always forget which one's which.
The secret is the reroll one has the die in the bottom left corner.
Oh, I never noticed that. So all the reroll skills have a little die.
Accurate.
See, learn something new every day. But that's a lot of lizard talk. Is there anything else we want to touch here?
I think that's it. Like, pick your favorite skink here if you want to buy a skink. Like, if your Sauruses are great, buy a skink. If your skinks are great, buy a Saurus. There's nothing Lizard Coach is going to ask for here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's nothing here other than other weird types of stat freaks that you couldn't kind of hope for. I mean, and really, most of the other things, like a move on a Saurus isn't really that great. Agi on a Saurus is pointless. Agi on any of the big guys is pointless. So really, this is like all your dreams could come true. And there's so many fucking lizards that you're gonna... I mean, there are a lot of lizard teams, and they might all be heading for free agency, but everybody's gonna get something.
Exactly. Like, you can be 10th pick and get a good lizard.
Yeah, the perfectly good lizard. Like, no matter what you get here, nothing here is bad.
I think we've waxed poetic enough about lizards. Let's go talk about some dogs, some Necro. There is a boy here that needs to have some words said about him.
Ah, yes. Well, our mutual friend has been paying close attention to this this group of free agency.
How do you feel about Moon?
I
plus
love Moon.
Strength werewolf.
He is what he's going to be forever.
Basically, yes. He's a long, long way from Legend.
Yeah, he's a long way from Legend. Now, he'll get Legend in a couple seasons, but...
Yeah, no, he's going to get lots of SPP. It's just that he has to get 70 of them.
Do you like... I guess... Okay, so here's the question. So there's... You got... let me just make sure there's not a niggle on this other wolf.
No,
there's
just
not.
minus SPP.
Yep. So it's just a minus agi, which isn't great. You do kind, it's a little scary since they're frenzy pieces not being able to get them off.
Yeah, they have to dodge sometimes.
But he is 9 movement, but he's got that Holy Grail double skill in Mighty Blow.
Indeed, he is still a great killer. It's just so easy to trap him now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's almost like a free safety. He's close to Legend, and he's a Mighty Blow claw piece. I think Sidestep's a curious choice on this guy.
I mean, what else did you want? I guess Tackle would be better here.
And piling on. Tackle.
Yeah, now that he's minus agi, I would love to have piling on.
Well, from the moment you get, this is my opinion on werewolves, the moment you get Mighty Blow, unless you get it real late in their development, you immediately start focusing on piling on and tackle and block, so that you round out their hit skills.
You have to get doubles again to get piling on.
Oh, right, because it's a strength. That's right.
I mean, he's still great. I still would put tackle on him. Probably over sidestep there. And, like...
Yeah.
Depending on what this move was, I assume that this was 4-6 instead of 5-5. Because if this was 5-5, I'd have taken Mighty Blow 1,000% of the time. Or piling on, rather.
Yeah, no, I'm guessing it must have been a 6-4.
Now, I'm looking at this plus strength on Moon and thinking that could have been Mighty Blow.
That's a toughie.
Yeah,
it's also really hard to put a 4-strength wolf on the ground.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with 4-strength blodge tackle movement guy. Like,
yeah,
he's really good. I'm not gonna say he's not. I'm just saying that Mighty Blow is like almost just as good.
It is almost. I mean, at least in terms of raw killing power, but he did put tackle on him, so I don't know. Yeah, it's a toughie. I think either way, I mean, this is a fantastic piece. We can second guess the skill choices all day, but none of them are bad skill choices.
You gotta have a plan to buy these boys, though. 260k, 240k. You gotta play some games with some inducements to get these things.
Now, the next interesting guy here is Skeletor.
Minus AV Murder Man with jump up, Mighty Blow, piling on, tackle, and guard.
This is riding the knife's edge. This guy.
Yes, sir. This guy piles on every time he knocks somebody down, right?
This is hoping that regen does a thing a lot. Because he's going to get fouled all the time.
Just remember,
and 30%
of the time when they foul him, they're going to get ejected.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think he's a good piece. He's not cheap.
No, 200k for this guy is kind of steep.
Yeah, it's kind of steep, but if you... I guess if you're in the case where you got a garbage white...
Exactly. No, this is way better than a level 2 white, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have if you have like a level 2 white or even a level 1 white that you're kind of bringing back up because your last white died, like I might, and you think your team might be close to contention, and that's an important.
This is like a playoff run, man.
Yeah, this is like you sign Kevin Durant right before your next season, so that you're like, we're going to win the title this next year. Like this
we're
is
making
a
run.
Yeah. Now the ghoul is noteworthy too.
Yeah, 30 SPP ball carrier ghoul. Like he's lived longer than he should. Note that he's of the third.
Yeah. as ghouls go, so goes death.
Yeah, they die a lot. They don't have regen on a team that doesn't have an APO, so everything sticks.
But that could mean good value for the market because he is only 110k, so he's affordable. Yeah.
And you can value in ghouls, right? They're cheap because they don't have regen.
Right, because they're gonna die. But he's about as survivable as they get with Blodge.
Blodger, yeah. Blodge sure hands great. Put the ball in his hands. Let your wolves and your whites and stuff do their thing. He's great. He's going to suck up all the SPP until he explodes, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing to keep in mind is he's your carrier. That you're picking this guy up because all your ghouls just died, which is what they do.
I mean, yeah, I've certainly seen some Necro teams that have like great wolves, good whites, and no ghouls because the ghouls just die, and this is a great piece for that team.
Yeah, I mean, even for like Jimmy, this is a piece I think Jimmy would pay attention to because he can't keep his ghouls alive.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he pays the ghoul
zombies?
tax. I don't know.
People have mixed opinions on block zombies.
They're not bad because they're a little better at just, you know, what's Jimmy like to call it, face tanking.
Yeah, I mean he's great on the line. He gets punched better. Get it, but
yeah, I mean 60K's still. Well, I guess this is if you've already got your 2 dirty player zombies.
Yeah. Then you can have wrestle.
Don't want to carry 3. Yeah, you could get wrestle, but I mean having a block guy out there because you need him to stand up.
Yeah, he stands in the way really good.
Yeah, like I don't think it's a bad piece, but it's like this is a consolation prize piece.
Yeah,
I
don't know that I would want to ever buy this piece.
I might. If I had a bunch of unskilled zombies, or I already had my my 2 dirty players or something like that, I might consider picking this guy up.
The bloat.
Yeah, because it's only 60K. What you're buying is 20K.
Yeah, but you're still buying 10 zombie SPP. That's all you're buying. Consolation prize MVPs. They
are hard to get SPP on, though. So it's not totally without value. But I agree, it's not a... There's nothing exciting about this. This is a walk-on. This guy came to college and was pretty good in high school and thinks he can make it in the big leagues.
Hey, we have a place on the bench for him.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, well, let's look at one of the other ends, the Norse this time.
They would appear to have a lot... Oh, no. There's a lot of team value.
They just have a whole bunch of money.
Okay. They have a lot of money because there's been a lot of...
Yeah, so I think that this team has like this 2,430K money because it basically sold an entire team to players last season. This is like the leavings. I suspect that this 3-level Ulf was like traded in. That's this minus armor, man. This is a tough sell, this boy.
He is a tough sell. He does have Block Guard and Mighty Blow, which are great skills to have, but he is armor 7.
Yeah, it is 46 SPP on an Ulfwerener. The only guy on your team that's AV8.
Well, he was.
He was. I mean, just think of it as countering Claw.
Right. Yeah, you're just leaning in on the... I'm at a high-end... I'm a high-end REBBL Norse team in divisions like 1 or 2 or 3. And I hate all this Claw, and I really want to mitigate it entirely. This is your guy.
And then we have this poor plus strength... who's this guy? He's a thrower. Yeah, poor plus strength thrower that's got a niggle, yeah. It does have Blodge, tackle, plus strength, sure hands, leader. Like, he's good, but he does have a niggle.
So...
I don't want to spend 210K on an AV7 niggle. That hurts.
Well, it's AV7 niggle, and what does that strength really do for you?
Not very much on him.
Right, he's a carrier and a passer.
Yeah. Like, it makes him harder to blitz him, but he's still an AV7 niggle. Once they do knock him down, he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He's at 210K, so you're going to have to save up a bunch of money for this guy.
Right. And Norse are notorious for exploding.
Right. I mean... But again, if you're on a playoff run and you want some big piece that's going to attract a lot of attention, maybe?
This is a playmaker. This guy's a playmaker.
But he will bloat you a lot.
He explodes.
Yeah. I don't know. It's situational. If he fits what you're missing, like you need a leader, and you need a ball handler, and you don't mind some bloat, or maybe you're like a second season team and you're a little beat up, maybe he's a good pick. But if you're in the later divisions, I would worry about this guy a lot.
Exactly. Like he's a liability.
In the land of stat freaks and tackle and shit, like.
It's hard to look bad with 82 SPP, but this guy does have a niggle. He's oof. And then we have this dirty. Yeah. Then we have this dirty player Finn guy. That's just kind of a dirty player Finn guy.
He's He's a Bret.
Yep. I mean,
Brett
I like Fend on this guy actually, but I don't really like that he has so many SPP. Like this guy on my team would just be on line duty at this point.
Right. You just put him on line duty, let people hit him. And
he will die on his own.
Foul somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad piece, and 90's not a terrible amount, but
it's cheap. Yeah, like Norse, I've sort of found you don't really want a million positionals. You know, like you can take more than you really want. So like it's fine to have some good lineman boys out there because you need some guys that you can let take some hits that you don't mind taking hits.
Right, and you want some depth. You want to be able to send some of those other unskilled linos back to the bench so that in the second half you're not fielding 6 guys.
Exactly. But that's it for Norse. It's pretty short.
Yeah.
Next was the stinky Nurgle. So.
Oh boy, are there many Nurgles this year? I haven't looked at them.
That's a good question. There is one.
There's
there is a Pestigore with Blodge.
I mean, that's a nice piece though.
Yeah, no, doubles on a Pestigore, get dodge, great. A+.
He is freshly leveled, so it's going to be a little bit of a haul to his next level, but he's kind of a blank slate. Like, there's a lot of different ways you can take a Pestigore with Blodge.
Yep.
He could be a carry guy. He could be
things on him.
Yeah, he could be a pillar. Could be a support piece. Could be a killer if you want to put the time in.
It's hard to take a killer now.
Yeah, it is. It is hard, but he is survivable. It's probably more of like a guard piece with some other, support skills.
I'm looking at guard for him. You have to get to 51 SPP before you become like a Claw Mighty Blow guy, and that's way too late for a Pestigore to become a killer.
I mean, you could just put Mighty Blow on him and make him an all-purpose, and then he slowly climbs his way to being like he's almost like your backup killer. And then when your real killer dies,
go like Mighty Blow into tackle and turn him into like your elf killer.
Right, yeah, he just runs around kind of in the periphery and slowly levels. But you have this would be in the case where you have a real deal killer, like a Claw piling on Mighty Blow guy. But you know that guy's going to die someday. And so you want to have a guy building up in the background, and he could do that.
These guys are the revolving door on the Nurgle team, so this is just like buying a Pestigore fresh that happens to have 2 good levels on it. Like, you can do whatever you want. Sharpen him to specifications.
Yeah, skip that early, painful process and just run right into using him and pointing him where you want him.
Yeah, I think that guy's good. Yeah, I can't think of a Nurgle team that wouldn't want that piece if they didn't just have 4 Pestigores that were better.
Right. Right, and there are a lot of Nurgle teams, so there could be some healthy competition. Check your records, Nurgle coaches. This guy could be yours if you're the worst.
Yep, this one you may have to compete for.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, well let's go look at your orcs.
Oh boy.
There's 1 officer left.
And those officers are from holes. I got 2 of them. Wait a second.
Yeah, I don't know where your 2 black orcs are, but there's 2 black orcs that are here too that you traded in. They're in a team that I don't think is actually in this player market yet.
Oh, okay. There was another... Oh, yeah, there's... Okay, so there's this thrower.
Yeah, there's these 2 we have here, and then we have a block black orc Deuce Local that's got 6 SPP. And then we have a block guard Mighty Blow black orc with 38 SPP that also has a niggle. Poor Undock Games.
Poor Undock Games. I actually traded him in on a loss of the Mighty Blow to a block guard guy.
Get rid of the niggle, yeah.
Just to get rid of the niggle. Of course, I've picked up a fresh niggle on exactly the same piece, basically. A block guard Mighty Blow piece. So maybe I'll take a shot at getting Deuce Local back on the roster and just build that back up. Or maybe I'll just live with a niggle. But Deuce is my greatest shame. He's not here, so you can't see him. He's just a block black orc. I think he's exactly 6 XPP.
Yeah, exactly 6 SPP.
Yeah, because he's a piece of shit. He went 2 seasons with an MVP from like game 2 of the first season. Took 2 fucking seasons to get that point.
Did you finally get just a vanity pass on him then?
Yeah, I just forced a vanity pass on him last game of the season, and then he got it. And I was like, if he rolls a strength, I'll keep him. And of course he didn't.
And then he didn't.
Of course not. Piece of shit. Never hurt a guy in his life. He's a delicate flower. Shouldn't play Blood Bowl. So don't draft him.
So let's talk about Officer Anders for a second.
Yeah,
he's
an interesting piece.
dodge, sure feet, plus movement, sure hands. He is a ball carrier, but I don't know how you manage to get those skills in that order to turn out like that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a good piece. A lot of people hate the thrower, right?
Sure, but it's got
so this is
plus
like a no thrower
here.
build carry piece. Like if your carrier is dead. What?
Great though. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this guy is a blitzer. Sorry.
Yeah, he's a
This guy was
blitzer.
thrower for a second.
No,
But
no.
ignore me.
Yeah, the sure hands throws you off the scent a little bit. I mean, he's a good carrier. I don't think 7 movement is that huge of a jump off of 6. Now he'll certainly do his GFIs with sure feet. And he's a blodger, which is nice, but he's not an agi blodger. I don't know.
Exactly.
And he's 190. He's not cheap.
He is not cheap. That's my concern. This is a pair of doubles and a plus movement, so he's just got like 30 extra TV on him for his levels. So he looks so expensive for what he is. Like I
feel
think
he's very
190k orc blitzer, and I think of this asshole that's got like mighty blow, tackle, piling on, jump up, and like another skill.
Pro. Yeah, this is a guy that you pick up if you're a no thrower orc team, and your carrier just died. And you don't want to wait to get another blitzer back up to snuff, then he's fantastic. Or you've got a shitty carry piece and you don't and you want to have more reliable ball handling. Like he's a good pickup, but he's
like
expensive.
That other guy, the other blitzer that had sure hands we saw a little bit here.
Yeah, like if I had just lost a Bob or a blitzer, maybe I'd consider it just for the movement, and I'd say, the fucking sure feet and the sure hands is a waste. But man, that's a lot to carry.
The sure feet actually is pretty usable. You're 97% to be 8 movement, and then you're like,
right.
It's like 90% without the re-roll to be
9 movement.
To be 9 movement. Yeah.
So he's a good safety.
8. Yeah, exactly. He's a fantastic safety, and like. He's the man who can be there to pick the ball up in the scrum sometimes. Like, sure hands can have some uses on a blitzer, even if he's not your ball carrier. It's just not optimal.
Well, he
could be tackle.
He could catch that skink. Oh, he doesn't have tackle.
Exactly.
He's not that far.
He doesn't have any kill skills. He just has block.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a guy that if he had tackle, of course, which I would have, he can hit the ball carrier, a breakaway ball carrier, and then the ball comes loose, and then he could pick it up with sure hands. And he's a ball hawk kind of that can't hit.
Exactly. So now
he's Deion Sanders.
I have an interesting question. What would you have taken on this guy? Now going back and you're rolling your second doubles on him after he has dodge. Like, so what would you have taken in the spot where he has sure feet here?
I would take a jump up.
Jump up or diving tackle.
Yep. Diving tackle if he had other, like if I was building him in a certain direction, diving tackle. But that's to me very situational. Jump up, I think, on a orc blitzer is pretty universally good.
That's great.
Yeah.
He's like there to take blocks because you're like in the scrum. He'll have assists. Like he gets to 3 agi jump up. He doesn't have to have mighty blow for that to be good. And sometimes people just knock it down and leave, and then he can catch up.
Well, and I think that's what happens to orc blitzers a lot. Is
they get left behind.
They get left behind because they get knocked down. People just run up and make a point to blitz the closest orc blitzer to where their ball is, and then suddenly he can only move 3 squares or 5 on 2 GFIs, and he's not really a movement threat.
And then it's like up to the other blitzer that's like 3 more squares away to get there, and he can't because he's only 6 movement.
Yeah. I mean, this is not a bad piece. It's just very specific.
Exactly. This is a specialty tool.
Now, on the Black Orc with the Niggle, I would say he's actually a pretty good piece, even with the Niggle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got 38 SPP. That's 38 Black Orc SPP.
Yeah.
And it was the hard 38.
He was my pride and joy up until that Niggle showed up, and I was very sad to trade him in. But I got 2 Black Orcs off the market, so I was like, I got to trade him in. I wouldn't have.
Exactly.
But he's a good piece. The catch is that you ride the snake a little bit on him. That they do get hit a lot, and one of these days he's gonna take an injury worse than you would like. But he's also he's block guard mighty blow, so people aren't gonna want to touch him too much.
How do you feel about Ward Jameson? I guess
I hate this piece.
I don't like it either.
I don't like anything about it. I don't like the leader. Kickoff return's okay. Guard on a fucking thrower is madness to me. I feel like this is he was like done
Especially
with this piece.
now that it's like developed as a leader kickoff return guy. Like, I know that you roll doubles and you want to take the additional guard, but this is not the man for it.
No. Even Mighty Blow would have been better on the double. Like, I don't know. Like, he doesn't have block.
That said, this guy does cost 140k. He is cheap. He comes with a reroll. So if you have, like... I think that this is a guy that, like, a team going into Season 2 might want.
I think this is a guy you get to fill a gap for a while you build someone else up. And you just really throw him at fucking dangerous things and let him die.
In my opinion, this guy is an AV8 guard piece that comes with a reroll. He's never going to touch the ball.
Yeah.
He might run over and stand near it, but he's not going to touch it.
And on kickoff, he can reposition, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. I can see some use for this guy, but it's not as a thrower.
Yeah, no. I don't like this piece. But maybe you do.
You ravaged the orc market last season, and no one's retired, so...
No, well, next season you're gonna get super feds orcs.
Oh, super fed rerolling. That's gonna be some spicy orcs.
Yeah.
You gotta start saving for those, aren't you?
I need to tank this season. Suck for luck.
There you go. The old 1-1-11 season or something.
Yeah.
In the season with 800k by super feds team.
Yeah, just like, what's all this team value? Oh, he's, everyone's hurt.
There's like some argument to it if the pieces are good.
Oh yeah, I think there is. I don't know that. I mean, he's got some incredible black orcs that are coming on him. At least 2 of them are fucking amazing, like level 5 black orcs.
It's hard to get those boys that big.
It is. All right, so who we got next?
Up next, we have a professional elf union. And now, before you click on the team, I want to make a bet with you.
All right.
I bet you can't pronounce any of the names on the team. And
that happens to me a lot.
Trying to figure out what to bet.
I can't find... Oh, there they are, Elven Union.
Yeah, it's Elven Union.
Before I click in, I will take that bet. I will pronounce at least one of them.
Okay, well, good luck. I think it's one of the blitzers that you're going to try and pronounce, but I'm not really convinced.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm going to try... Imthorian... No, Imthorin... Elenamumi. God damn it. I could do it. These are awful names.
And that's the easy one, right?
It's fucking elf name Casey shit right here.
There's some good pieces, though, but how the hell did you get to the end of a season as pro elves with enough money to buy one?
What's funny is we've only had 2 seasons of pro elves. This is the first season with pro elves on the market, and there's basically a full team here. Well,
yeah, that's what happens to pro elves. They explode enough that they end up here.
I
expect a revolving door of people here where, like, 2 teams will die so that a third might survive another season.
Yeah. Now, I will say, number 4 here, Philblabian Adlavathar. I love this piece.
I mean, what's not to like about Blodge Step, Catch, Nerves of Steel plus move?
Yeah.
9 movement that can get the ball from anywhere.
And yeah, he gets marked. Like, he basically outruns the team. They got to go mark him. They hope they can knock him down, but it's tough because he's a blodger.
He is a blodger.
And he'll just sidestep closer to the end zone, and you just throw the ball at him. Like, this is a great piece. I'd say this is the one of all of them I would, like, home in on.
There is also a 5 Agi elf here that's got sure hands and dodge and throw.
Man, his head is really small. I'm looking at him in the character window, and his head is very small compared to the proportions of his body. Maybe that's an elf thing. He got little brains.
Oh, yeah.
What was the piece? The Blodge?
They've evolved to not need him.
Right.
The Blodge Agi guy. Or he doesn't Blodge, but... Dodge Agi guy.
Yeah, that's a weird... Oh, he's a thrower.
He's a thrower, yeah.
Ooh.
He's a Lino that got throw for free.
And he's only 150.
Correct.
That's actually really nice.
Isn't he?
And he's pretty blue sky. Yeah, he's only level 4. I mean, only, but I guess with elves it goes fast.
It's an elf. Yeah, it goes real fast with him. He will fly towards the sun until it melts his wings.
But yeah, actually 5 with pass. I almost don't know why he took sure hand. I guess just to prevent strip ball.
Yeah, it's a strip ball deterrent. Since he doesn't have block, it's just like a way to make him safer in the backfield if something goes wrong. You don't ever have to spend a reroll on picking the ball up anymore.
I'd say he's the best value up here at 150k.
Yeah, I think he's great. He's cheap. I mean, like the catcher with plus move is probably the best piece here, but I think that it's hard to have 190k to spend on a catcher on Pro Elves, ever.
Oh, right. Yeah, because they're always broke because they're always replacing
Exactly.
pieces.
They are having to buy pieces to get through the season, so it's hard to find a bank on Pro Elves.
Now, if you got an expensive catcher yourself that you don't like, you could trade him in and then take a bunch of money off that price, and maybe you're only paying 60, 70k or something.
That is a thing that people should be aware of, that you can trade in guys. Like, if you have just like a plus move catcher or something that's level 2 and you want to trade that guy in, NPA would probably take it, and then you just pay the difference.
I mean, that's what I did with the Black Orcs. That's why I was able to afford 2 of them. Both level 3.
Yeah, you left 2 behind.
Yeah, but they're so valuable off the bat, it was really relatively trivial cash-wise. So if you've got a good catcher or a valuable catcher, that could be worthwhile. I think the thrower is your best value off the jump, and maybe you got it since you're Prelfs, you probably have a thrower. So you ditch one of them. Blitzers, do you like the move Blitzer?
He's fine. Like, he's nothing super duper special.
It's expensive.
Like, you want agi or strength or something on them for them to be like super special, or doubles for mighty blow. Like, the movement's nice. He's 8 move now. He's as fast as your catchers, but your whole fucking team is
pretty fast.
On fire fast, yeah.
Yeah.
But he is blodge step tackle. Like, you put him on things and he stays there really well.
Yeah, I guess he's a pretty good piece. 180 value. He is armor 8.
So now I do want to point out that you can pay 10k less and instead have diving tackle too.
Oh, if you didn't take the move.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's literally the guy above him is that.
Oh yeah, he is. Look at that. And he's got 3 more SPP.
Yeah. I might actually like the one that has diving tackle over the plus move. Like, I don't really think you need it.
He's more of an all-purpose blitzing piece.
And the opportunity cost of giving up something like diving tackle is pretty big on these blitzers, because now, like, you put Elias Malthalor or whatever on anybody, and they are now stuck to him. Like, you have to blitz him off, and he's a blodge stepper, so gotta roll a POW.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And he's 3 strength, which they shouldn't... I've never understood why Pro Elves have 3 strength, other than the fact that they die all the time, so who cares what they have.
I do not understand why Pro Elf Catcher is 3 strength. That is... Yeah. It is foreign to me.
You got a couple wrestle linemen. I don't think they're really anything to talk about. It's so easy to get points on elves.
You don't really want to put them on your linos, though. So, like, if you can buy these guys at the end of the season, like, if you just have extra cash, this is probably a good pickup. Like, if you were going to buy a lino anyway, you'd rather buy this wrestle lino with 11 SPP.
Right, if your linos are in bad shape or you got some holes and you just want to fill them, like, these are good pickups. But they're exactly what they look like. They're just level 2 linos.
Yeah.
All right.
This 11 SPP guy could turn into like a wrestle strip guy pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe you get lucky and get guard on him or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're anyway, just whatever.
Let's go move on to something that's just like filthier elves, some rats.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of Skavens.
There's a lot of Skaven, and I think there's a lot of wood elves.
I believe so. It's hard to get there with wood elves too.
I don't think I've looked at these Skaven. Oh yeah, we did, because we were talking about this. Yeah, so
I don't think this is all of the Skaven.
Yeah, there were others.
There's a second team. Yeah, it's just like the same thing, but it's got a 2 on it. This still isn't all of them. There's like way more rats on the player market app than there are here. I don't know.
So I'll look at these guys first, and then maybe if you found the other team, I'll jump over to that next.
Yeah, it's easy to find. Yeah.
But I mean, we got some great stuff here.
Talk to me about some rats then.
I don't know what I think about the 4 strength linos, even though the one's got block. The other's 3 points away from block. I just don't know about that much value on a fucking line rat.
That is 3 line rats.
Yeah, armor 7 doesn't go away because you got 4 strength.
Yeah, they just stack it up and block it with a mighty blow guy, and it's gone. And then you're like, where did that 120 TV go?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could be fun, but these 2 linos are preference pieces. I really think the guard kick guy is better value than either of them.
It sucks that the kick guy rolled guard, but yeah, he's great.
Well, you keep him off the line, right? And then he runs. He does the kick, and then he runs and puts guard where you want it on 7 movement.
You know, what makes me really sad is that the enslaved one could have guard.
The enslaved one is, yeah, that's, I don't know. Go for it if that's what you want. You really want that block horns line rat, like that's there for you. I think he's
better than the strength guy.
Yeah, I agree. Sort of. I don't know. I don't think he's
what you want the strength guy to do.
I'd rather the strength guy because at least he defends it 4 strength as well for 20k more.
Your AV7 colors.
Yeah, I mean they're both kind of. I don't know. They're both situational.
Yeah, they're both scary. I mean, I'm seeing this like lino turning into like some kind of ghetto like storm vermin or something. Maybe. But anyway, I'm not really interested in any of these line rats. Maybe the guard one.
Well, you got a 3 strength gutter with sure hands.
Great.
This is a carry gutter.
Fantastic. Get yourself an SPP black hole today.
Well, and then so he's got blodge on him and tackle, so he can hit, knock guys down, and he's got sure hands, and he's a 4 strengther, so he can hit or 3 strengther, so he can hit pretty well. And it's not like rats struggle to get 1 assist on somebody. So if you break away, this guy's going to chase you down. He's going to hit you. He's going to knock you down. And he's going to pick the ball up, and then he's going to run downfield and probably throw it to somebody.
Now, this guy is like the one that you mark the back corner with when you blitz the corner off, so that he's just like there to pick the ball up next turn when you actually get to hit the ball, right?
Yeah.
He's really good.
And he's a great carrier because he's hard to hit at 3 strength and blodge. And then he's got sure hands, so you can't strip him. He's
things.
And he's only level 5, so you got 2 more levels on him. One coming pretty quickly at 11 points.
Pretty close.
Yeah. The other coming in a lifetime, but
it's a gutter runner. That's only like 33 touchdowns. That's like a season.
Yeah. No, he's an incredible piece. I think he should be one of the ones people are kind of eyeing and really focusing in on.
Yeah, I'd love to have that guy. I'd love to have the other gutter too. He's great too.
Yeah, he's just stock to me.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a stock gutter though. Like
yeah, blocking needs doubles.
You don't mind dying.
Do they need doubles to get block, right?
No, it's general agility.
They do have general. Okay, yeah. So he's a stock gutter, but he saves you the time. And if you've been focusing on your other gutters and you got a couple Garbo gutters, like this is a really nice pickup, and he's not actually expensive. 140k is very worth it.
This is a way to buy 12 touchdowns for your team.
Yep, basically. 140k for 12 touchdowns. What a deal.
Not a bad one.
So how do I find... I go to teams?
Okay. Yeah, so instead of going in overview for the player market, go to teams. And then you get all the teams, and then just search for
there they
Skaven.
are. Skaven 2. All right.
Now, this is still not all of them, I don't think. The player market has numerous additional ones, including like some more gutters, like a Wrestle Strip, Dauntless Leap gutter, a couple of Storm Vermin that are disgusto. Oh, here's the 2 disgusting Storm Vermin, yeah.
These are the 2 disgusting Storm Vermin.
These are the Storm Vermin, yeah.
This is Mickey Mouse and Spike 2.
These are the filthiest things I have seen on the player market yet. Look at this buy your own legend. 9 SPP away.
Yeah, you get to take credit.
If you don't have that achievement for training a player to level 7, 190k right here.
Well, and you get 2 achievements because you get 1 for doing the player market.
Yeah. They just sell him back to the player market, yeah, and get the other one.
Yeah. The legend one is pretty neat. But it's the killer. It's Spike 3 is the one, to me, is the prize.
He is so good.
He is perfect. He's exactly what you want. I don't have claw access on my killer, so I've got Juggernaut there instead of claw. But man, I can tell you the results on a piece like this is, what is it, 56% to injure?
Yeah, it's
or remove.
Yeah, it's like better than a coin flip to remove a piece. Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically a near perfect, or it is a perfect. This is a perfect killer. I don't think there's any team that doesn't already have this guy that wouldn't want this guy.
Exactly. Like, I just level and roll doubles and get him jump up and see how many SPP you can get on him before he dies.
Right.
My guess is like 400, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if you can keep him alive, this guy will stick around for a long time, just earning points. Now, the other one's interesting because he never got the doubles on this other guy.
He is still insane, though. Like, it just shows you how good Storm Vermin are. Like,
yeah.
Grab is maybe questionable, but, like, what else do you take, huh? Like, Pro, you just preemptively take Pro.
Well, he's not getting sidestepped on, so he's more of a movement blitzer. And with Juggernaut, he can go through stand firm guys, he can deal with sidestep. He really can do everything. Yeah. And he's still pretty high likelihood to hurt you with a piling on Mighty Blow tackle piece.
And with no doubles, he is cheap as dirt. 190k.
Yeah, level 6, 190k on such an integral piece, and then 11 points away with Mighty Blow piling on. He's gonna level.
Yeah.
Would
you like to spend 100 cash money to buy 167 TV or SPP rather? Because that's like the best exchange rate we've seen, I think.
Oh, yeah. These are both fantastic pieces. Unfortunately, that leaves us with Nile Scuttle, who is incredibly unremarkable.
That's not a piece.
Yeah. 90k to have a guy that you really need to hope never gets an MVP.
So highlights from the player market app that are not in these. There is a Wrestle Strip, Dauntless Leap Gutter, and then there is a plus move Sprint Niggle Gutter, and then there's like a Mighty Blow Storm Vermin and a Guard Storm Vermin.
I found the other rats.
What are they?
Rat Fuckers United. By Schleiss. So, I don't know if this was a full team he just turned in.
I suspect that's it.
These are the guys you're talking about, though. Like, Feta Costello is this leap, strip ball, dauntless wrestle guy.
Actually, I suspect what this is probably a team that got retired
and he just hasn't merged the... Yeah, he just hasn't traded
These probably are... No, I think these probably are not available for purchase this season, and they're showing up on the app because they're already in the player market.
Oh, so these are probably next season. Okay, we'll skip that.
I'm pretty sure that this is a team that we'll see on the market next season.
Yeah, but look at this fucking gutter, this leap gutter.
It's so good.
I fucking love it. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Maybe next season we'll talk more about that guy.
Yeah, that's a moment to point out that keep up with the player market about 2 weeks into the season when NPA has like gotten done with all this other stuff and he's merged in all the teams that were retiring, and see what you need to maybe save for, build for it. It's a lot easier to be able to afford these guys when you know about it like 13 games in advance.
Exactly, it becomes part of your like overarching team strategy.
Okay, well let's look at some undeads.
Yeah, we'll start with Rebel Undead Free Agents, which has like Robert
the first one. Yeah. Look at this mummy.
Oh, what a mummy. What a mighty good mummy.
Guard, stand firm. Stand in your fucking way.
It's nothing. The block is the block you needed doubles for, right? Yeah.
Correct, yeah. This guy is fantastic because he has block and then an additional pile of SPP that wasn't spent on Thick Skull or something.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, and break tackle's not really worthwhile on them. This is about a perfect block mummy on level 4.
There's some argument for grab, but I think stand firm's right.
I think stand firm's right. They're more important to setting the edge and scaring people off than moving them around. Moving around's almost greedy on a piece like this.
I agree. He's a pillar. Then we have Blodge Mighty Blow White. That guy's awesome. He's 3 SPP from a level. You buy your own killer. He can be Blodge Mighty Blow Tackle in 1 touchdown.
Yep. Or 1 hit. Or 2. No, a hit and a vanity
2
pass.
hits. Yeah, sure, exactly. Or if you want to skip all that shit, just buy Nathan Bedford Turd Piss and wreck people.
Yeah, this is your super aggro model white right here with the frenzy.
Yep.
I'm not a you know, I'm a little shy on frenzy sometimes, but this guy.
Want a surf machine?
This guy's a surf machine. Yeah, I guess Juggernaut's the next order of business for this guy.
Yeah, at Legend Land, he's like 100 SPP from it. It's a season or two away, but
or 3.
Yeah, I probably. Yeah, he's you got to roll those dice. There's a million things that you'd want on doubles too.
Yeah. I mean, he's a nice piece. 190k doesn't even seem that expensive for all these skills on a white.
Oh yeah, it's because they're all normals.
Yeah, and it just takes so long to level whites, even once they start getting kill skills. They're typically not that speedy. Now, what about this ghoul?
Yeah, plus move minus move and plus agi, and then some skills to make it maybe not die immediately.
Yeah, he's got fins, so you can't pile them on. So he's kind of a good high-end ghoul. But you're sacrificing one of the biggest advantages of ghouls, which is their speed. But he's a
guard ghoul, though. This guy's like a...
Oh, he's a guard ghoul. I didn't even notice
he's like
the guard.
A fake white now.
That's a lot of TV for a piece of glass that you're going to go mark with guard.
I agree. It is 200k for, like, a Roman candle.
Yeah, I mean, this is a leaf on the wind, this guy. He's
It'll be fun, but it will not last long.
For while he's alive and standing, he's going to be a real fun, interesting, annoying for your opponent piece, and then he's just going to turn into dust.
Yep, somebody's going to hit that guy with a tackle mighty blow piling on guy, and he's not even going to need to pile on. It's just going to die.
Oh, and look here, you got Tommy Too Tall's Summer from his old Rick and Morty themed, that and Mr. Meeseeks.
Oh. Indeed.
I love Mr. Meeseeks, by the way.
Yes, that's, if you ever wanted your skeleton to have Dirty Player, you can custom order it.
And he's insulated from an MVP, so you can still take an MVP and not take that TV hit.
That is correct. I think that's great. He's basically he would be a perfect skeleton if he had 6 SPP, but he is as close as you're ever gonna get.
Yep. Yeah, he double MVP'd, I'm guessing.
I assume.
But that's and a lot of people forget, like, you should carry that one fouling skeleton, that one dirty player skeleton on any undead team, because they're a little faster than the zombies.
Yeah, it's hard to put dirty player on him, though, because it's hard to choose which skeleton, zombie, whatever gets SPP.
Yeah. So he's already taken all the trouble out for you. Yeah. Summer's just a replacement ghoul. Like, once your strip
when your stripper dies, this one's a new one.
And, since you can carry 4 ghouls, maybe you want to have a backup stripper, since they're actually pretty important to the undead game plan. You might want to have 2, and this might be a good pickup for you.
Totally agree. And it just needs a little bit of TLC, and it's got tackle too. So,
I don't care about can't. I don't think undead need kick.
I don't care about can't at all. Like it's cute. You can like short kick and stuff, but I think I'd rather have had wrestle on that guy.
Now let me see if I can find the other undead team.
So the other undead team has undead in its name. So if you just search for team name undead in the player market teams, you'll get it. It's 2 whites and 2 mummies. The other half of the Rick and Morty team, basically.
Ah, yes, Rick and Morty. Now Morty doesn't have block.
At that 6 strength break tackle.
Guard piece.
It doesn't need block. It gets to 3 die your ball.
Just put him. As long as he only has to make 1 dodge, he'll go wherever you want and apply guard.
By himself, he can 2 die a cage.
Yep. I've played against these pieces. He was a nightmare to deal with. You tried to keep him relegated, but the break tackle made it really hard to keep him like marked and away from everybody. But
now,
Rick,
we just casually glanced over this Blodge mummy, right?
Yeah. Now, is he niggled?
That's got to be a niggle, right?
That's a niggle, yeah. Which is unfortunate, but he's not easy
Blodge
to hit.
Mummy, I think statistically he's probably less likely to die because he has blobs than he would from the niggle, right?
Well, and on a big guy like this, he's typically not dealing with blitzers. He's dealing with Black Orcs and Chaos Warriors.
No one has tackle. Yeah.
Right. Tackle's not that prolific, so he's actually really hard to put down. Unless you commit a blitzer to him. Unless you basically throw a ton of guard at him, and then you can maybe put him down with a tackle blitzer. But okay, man, do you want to?
Somebody up there near him, and
yeah. Well, you just have him by Morty, right?
Close to each other,
yeah. Yeah. Scary Terry is a very nice killer.
Very standard. Scary. 4 SPP away. 2 Kaz.
Yeah, and then you're looking at maybe getting lucky on something, or otherwise you just throw Juggernaut or whatever your preferred killer skill, like killer fluff skill is. He's ready to go, and I think Scary Terry killed at least one of my pieces.
How do you feel about Bird Person?
Let's see. Oh, I remember Bird Person. Bird Person is really good. He used him for a carry. He didn't have a carry ghoul on that team. So he would carry with Bird Person, which I'm not often a fan of, because I think you need your whites.
He gives his own guard.
Yeah, he gives his own guard. He can go anywhere he wants. He can hit kind of anywhere he wants. He's a super versatile piece. And I think if you're...
He can dodge, himself free. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've got a hole in your whites, like Bird Person is a fantastic pickup at 170. Like, 170 for a plus agi piece in such a key role.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you can get Scary Terry for that same price, so, like, 4 SPP away.
Well, Scary Terry's going to come in and fill an exact role.
Bird Person, people.
Yeah, if you've got a killer white or something already, Bird Person might be better for you. But it really depends on what you need. The guard would be good. Yeah, the guard is really nice on a white. The agi makes you a little nervous to be using the guard with him, but he's one of those pieces. He can go wherever he wants, and he can carry if you need him to. So I mean, this was a fantastic team. I think he just ran into Undead, kind of run into trouble when they get into the higher divisions. So that's why they're here for you.
Okay, well, you want to move on to our last team, the Wood Elves?
Oh, and this is a big one.
It's not as big, because I think this is another one that's got a team that's coming in.
I'm going to search by wood.
And you will get the one Wood Elf. I believe that there is, in the teams, one of the other teams is just coming in and hasn't folded in yet.
Ah, okay. Are they here where we can see them? Because I want to talk about that tree.
I'm looking. No, I don't see them. I don't know why that. I don't know where it pulled that tree from.
Huh. That's a shame. I was excited to talk about that tree. There's an incredible tree that may or may not be on the market. What does he have? Let me just flip over to the Nuffletics real quick and see if I can find it.
Oh, here it is. The second...
Oh, he's not in the thing anymore. This is all it shows is these 6 pieces. What were we looking at before?
I guess... there must have been a team in the free agents when we were looking before. Okay, well, there's less Wood Elves than we thought.
Yeah.
There's still a plus move tree.
I hate Wood Elves so much. They just make me mad. This is still a great tree. A move-up tree is, I think, one of the biggest things you can get because it removes that horrible stand-up, and suddenly it's a whole lot more reliable. The other tree had jump-up on it. That's what it was. It was move-up and jump-up.
No, it was just jump-up. I think that actually might have
it was jump-up block. It was jump-up and block. Oh, and so maybe we did talk about that already.
I think we did. I think that was a halfling tree.
Okay. That's what it was. Well, this is still a nice tree. I think grab is a little bit luxurious.
Yeah, it's hard to sell me on grab. That could have been like guard.
Right. And that's kind of what you want them doing, is just standing there tying up a bunch of people and making it easier to hit them. And your Wood Elves, you're not halflings, so you can hit them. Exactly that.
You can have this plus move catcher. This guy's fine. He's a good replacement if you have a hole. Like, blodge linos are great, kick linos great, and then we have this War Dancer.
Yeah, tell me about this War Dancer. You've played some Wood Elves.
Blodge leap, strip ball, sidestep, jump up, diving tackle, fend.
Oof.
So now, in my opinion, this is like perfect up until the jump up, and then we kind of leave the rails a little bit.
Yeah, I don't hate survivable.
It.
I think he's meant to always be able to get at your carrier, right? Like, I think that's what the idea with the jump up is.
Yeah, this guy can blitz your ball every turn if he wants to. You have to actively break his armor. Now, that said, he doesn't have tackle. He's not knocking your ball carrier down all the time. He just wants to make you drop it.
And if you don't, you're not going anywhere because he's got diving tackle on you. And
You
he'll
have
just
to
continue
knock
to
this
sidestep
block stepper off.
Yeah. You'll have to knock him off. And he's got fins, so you can't follow him and keep applying stuff to him.
Right.
So he's going to pick his most advantageous location to go and just sit there tying your guy up forever.
Yeah, frequently you're going to have to literally move a piece every time you take a block at him. He just he can eat your turn.
So at 220k, he's level 6, so he's working on his legend. He's about 100 points away from that, so he's a long ways off. You like him at 220?
The only hard thing about this, man, yeah, he's fine at 220. The problem with it is getting to the end of the season with Wood Elves and 220k to buy him with. So this is another place where you probably just trade like your wrestle sidestep war dancer in for him or something.
Wrestle strip ball sidestep guy. Haven't taken leap yet. Oh no, they come with leap.
They come with leap. Yeah, they come with blotch leap.
Fucking war dancers.
Real fuckers.
I like this lineman for value. Trips on rock. Actually, no, him and Buffalo Bill. Yeah,
both of them are great.
I guess you get a little more value. You get 3 more SPP for your money on trips on rock.
Yeah, they're effectively interchangeable. You try and get trips first, but they're interchangeable.
And I guess the kick's good if you just lost your kick guy. But I feel like Wood Elves never have a problem having a kick guy. They've always got one. So
but this one almost has a dodge as well. So like he's a kick guy that's almost capable of helping with the screen.
Right. I actually like Putt-Putt quite a bit because he's a little bit blue sky. He's only level 2. Got that move off the jump and comes with sprint. So he's a one-turn weapon.
Slate.
Yeah, perfect blank slate, one-turn threat. Can kind of build up and decide what you want to do with him. Or you can make him into kind of a safety, deep reach, sacker type. There's a lot you can do with these guys, but they are strength 2.
Yeah, I probably just take, like, Sure Feet into block.
Right.
Into, like...
I might even just take block and then Sure Feet.
Either way, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at it because then he's, like, one push away from being a one-turner, so he's just, like, a super threat all the time. And, like, you don't really want to leave him where he gets punched anyway. But, yeah, sure, block's fine, too. Like, beanie meanie.
Well, I just think Wood Elves wind up playing attrition game into the second half, so he's going to be on the field in the second half. Like, it's going to be hard to keep him on the bench and keep him safe, so you might as well make him a little more survivable.
You can move 12 squares.
That's true. You can. All right.
I think that's all of our players.
That's all of our players. Well, cool. So I guess that does it for our very special free agency roundup. There wasn't anything else that we needed to touch on, was there?
Not that I have.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you for coming out today and doing this up with me, Rando. This has been good fun.
We've learned a lot.
We have. There's definitely some of these teams I never took a look at before, so it was fun to run through them with you. But yeah, I guess that'll do it. Any questions, I guess hit us up either in the YouTube comments or in the thread on Reddit, and we'll see what we can do to help you out there. But otherwise, keep punching and enjoy free agency, and be nice to Ninja Pirate Assassin, because he does a lot of work.
Yes, sir.
All right, take it easy, Rando. Take it easy, everybody.
Later everybody.
Peace.